The sort of primary focus for me right now is recording new stuff and kind of testing that out live and seeing where that takes me. I think from my standpoint, the live set is such an important part of what I'm doing. I think for the most part, the way that I envision what I do is from a lyrical standpoint and a percussive standpoint. In a lot of ways, there's a strong hip-hop element to what's going on. But from some of the other melodic and like other sonic textures, it's kind of a more indie rock or electronic vibe going on, and that depends song to song. And I think for live setting stuff, a lot of times, electronic stuff goes over really well in a club atmosphere, and some of the more rock stuff translates a little bit better, to something like this here at Outside Lands today. In terms of kind of labeling people into kind of cliques or whatever, nowadays, like, I feel like people just like cross over between so many different styles, and especially in the hip hop world, I feel like there's more room than ever to explore and be kind of weird and cross over to different things. So I'm just trying to be really free about kind of like what I'm doing and just work with people who I like, who I'm friends with. I went to college with MC Lars, and he's been kind of like an older brother mentor to me, and we literally went to a cabin we were like hanging out. We went like camping essentially, and we're like, let's work on this EP together. And we ended up, writing it, and I worked on most of the beats. We had a few other friends who contributed too, and it was like, honestly, it was a project that was just out of friendship and fun, and just a really like, I don't know, kind of like joyful experience. We were just being goofballs. I worked with Amp Live and Zion I on a bunch of different things, which was great because they're kind of, really, really talented folks in the Bay Area. Having Bay Area collaborations and creating that community with other artists in the city is great. I Stopped Caring in '96 is a mixtape that I put out a couple months ago, 3 months ago or something, and put it out in 3 different parts, each part sort of having a theme. The title of the mixtape came about because a friend of mine, I was like going outside wearing something ridiculous, and my friend was like, "Don't you care like what people will think of you?" And I was like, "Dude, I stopped caring in '96." And I just said it off the cuff, and I was like, "Wait, that's kind of funny but also true." But the overarching gist of it is that I just worked on this. My mom lives in Oakland, so I did it all in her basement, just on my own. And it's supposed to be kind of a meditation on like self-awareness, absurdity, and what else? Something undefined. But essentially the idea that in the quest for, self-discovery or whatever, it almost becomes so extreme, some of the terminology that we use when we think about ourselves and like our angst and stuff, that it's just absurd, in my opinion. Like, everybody's got stuff going on, but it's important to temper that with the fact that, like, I don't know, everything's not floating, like gravity is happening.